Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Brown's Latest. I'm Dave Grendzynski, also known as Grizzer, and this is where we get you caught up on some of the latest news and tidbits that are tied to our favorite team in the National Football League. Of course, it is the Cleveland Browns right there on the wall. Cleveland Browns. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you to everybody who has liked our previous episodes, who has subscribed to the channel, to all of you who have become members of the Brown's Latest Dog Pound, and all of you who get your comments down there in the viewer comments section. I thank you very much because we give our takes on the news, but I say we because it's not just me. We get your takes in the viewer comments, and then I share them. I share them on the show. See down there at the bottom, right down there? I share them on the show so we can all enjoy your takes. Now, coming up on today's show, are you ready to make a little history on Sunday? Well, the Browns can do something that they haven't done in almost 2 years. It appears Jim Schwartz can make a treasure out of somebody else's trash. 2 sources confirm to a Browns insider when Shedeur Sanders will finally start as QB1. We finally know, and we're going to tell you today. And then down in the viewer comments, what formation sounds awesome? And we should use it near the goal line. Wonder what that's all about. Well, we will find out. But first things first, we can make a little history on Sunday. And the chance to make history has to do with this. Winning back-to-back games. It's been a while since we've won back-to-back games. The last time we won back-to-back games, the end of the 2023 season, when it was Flacco. Joe Flacco. That was the happy times with Joe Flacco. We were wacko for Flacco back then. But it was week 16 and week 17 of that season. We beat Houston 36-22 on Christmas Eve in Houston. And then week 17, we had a Thursday night game on the 28th. Quick turnaround against the Jets. Joe Flacco got his former team against the Jets. So it's been a little while since we've been able to put back-to-back wins together. So it's about time we do it. And so here's the thing though, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna have to get off to a fast start. Remember, it's gonna be tough sledding this week against this rush defense of New England. So we're going to have to throw the ball. And the Patriots have allowed opponents to score 5 of 7 times on their opening drives. So in 7 games, 5 times their opponents have scored on the opening drive. Now, how many times have we scored on an opening drive? Well, by my calculations, it's once against Detroit. We scored the touchdown. It was a Judkins 1-yard touchdown run against Detroit after a 13-play, 88-yard drive that took over 7 minutes off the clock. But if I'm wrong, coach me up in the comments. But that's what I got. I only got us doing it once. So, Tennessee's saying it's they have communication issues and things like that. Because that first series is always scripted. And that's what Mike Vrabel was talking about. He's like, we gotta get this our scheme matched to their script. And so every team, I mean on every level of football, you script your first series. You have all week to work on it, and you go out there and you put together your, like the first 10 plays you want to run, and you practice them in that order, and you go off the script on your first series. So the Patriots seem to have trouble with the script. So hopefully we can take advantage of that and get off to a fast start and get a lead, because then the defense can start going nuts because the Schwartz is with us. May the Schwartz be with us on Sunday again. This defense can't say enough about it. And I'll tell you what, when you look at, like, I mean, because think about it. This is essentially the same group of guys we had last year, right? I mean, you added Mason Graham and then KZ in the secondary, and a couple other guys here or there, but it's like your core defense from last year is back. So what has changed, man? Schwartz is getting everything he can out of him, including the newest addition. I don't mean the new addition. The newest addition, Tyson Campbell. I mean, and look, I know it's a small sample size, and I know these stats come from the land of small fonts. But if you could take a close look there, you could see Tyson Campbell's. So you got his two-team combination, meaning the Browns and Jacksonville. That's his totals for the whole season, is that first number. And then you see his numbers with Jacksonville, and they weren't that great. Remember, he was the second worst cornerback as far as giving up yards in the entire league when we got him. But and we'll throw out that Pittsburgh game because that was a short week, and I gave him like a C grade. He did get smoked by Metcalf, but I mean that was a tall order. I don't know why Denzel Ward wasn't covering Metcalf. I'm like, why do we give it to the new guy who just got here 5 minutes ago? But you can see, I mean, he's only 70 yards. He had a great game last week against Miami, but it is Miami. I get it. But if he keeps building and growing the way he looked on Sunday, if he can keep that up, because that play against Waddle was phenomenal, and then that rundown on A-Chain, the guy's got supersonic speed. So this could really turn out to be, under Schwartz's tutelage, he could really turn into something special for the Browns. We won't say it's a steal. We're not going to say we won the trade just yet, but we weren't going to pay Newsom. So if we got this for that, nothing wrong with that. But I give a lot of the credit to Jim Schwartz and what he's doing. And the other thing about the Browns defense the other day, they played the highest amount of zone coverage that Schwartz has ever used in his entire time with the Browns. That's according to True Media. So they played a lot of zone. After the first 6 games, we were playing a ton of man, and people were going after us. But they switched it up a little bit, and I think that was to Tyson Campbell's advantage as well. So, when you don't have to go man to man, it helps your chances of lessens your chances of getting beat. And I think that all played into everything. But also Tua was the quarterback, so that probably had something to do with it too. So, but it's going to be fun to watch Campbell progress under the tutelage of Schwartz. Now, the question that nobody can wait for the answer to this question. Everybody's been waiting to find out, when will Shedeur start at QB1? When will it happen? Well, I think we know now. I think we finally know. And this is courtesy of Browns Insider, and he's also a radio sports talk show host for ESPN Cleveland. His name is Tony Rizzo, and he was at the stadium the other day. And he said, I was told by 2 different sources when he was down there at the stadium on Sunday. One said Shedeur would start the last 4 games of the season unless the Browns win every game through the Titans week. He said, if not, Shedeur will play the Bears, Bills, Steelers, and Bengals. They want to see what he's got. And which makes sense. There's no point. If you're not going to make the playoffs, then by all means, he should be in there. I think that we should be using him in spurts at this point. Why not? Why wouldn't you do it? The other thing with Shedeur is, Gabriel. Now, according to Next Gen Stats, he's clocking. Listen to this. He's getting rid of the ball quickly, which is nice. 2.2. He's only trailing Kansas City's Patrick Mahomes in that category. So he's second to Mahomes in time to throw. But Next Gen Stats also tells us that his 5.5 yards per attempt is the lowest among qualifying quarterbacks. And so and this is what I'm saying, we are going to learn a lot this week because it's going to be tough to run on New England. And their pass defense is not nearly as good. So you can get to them through the air, and but you're not going to get to them through the air going 5 yards a pass. Not going to work. And Myles Garrett also let it leak this week that Shedeur Sanders has been working with Kevin Stefanski. Been in the office early in the morning, putting in the extra work. And Myles said it's showing up on the practice field. So, the Browns are eager to see what he can do. And so that's good for Shedeur. And we showed you the picture the other day. He's going over to Ballman Wallace and getting in some personal training on his own too. So he is just staying ready. That's all he can do. But it's going to be, I'm telling you, Haslam said we will see both rookies. Haslam said it. It's coming. The day is coming. And now this, at least it puts, it kind of quantifies when it should happen. Maybe sooner. If Gabriel gets injured, it's going to happen sooner than later. So we shall see. But got to get through this New England game first. Now, always in the starting lineup are the viewer comments, and we'll start with Ed McCracken. Just like the name, Ed McCracken, who says, "Let's all be honest. Gabriel is no more than a career backup." At this point, that's what it looks like, Ed. A lot of people agree with you. Everybody I talk to agrees with you. I mean, these are lifelong Browns fans that I talk to, and everybody is clamoring to see Shedeur because everybody has come to the agreement that Dillon Gabriel will be a great backup in the league. So, Ed, we will see you at the Dillon Gabriel is nothing but a backup meetings every Wednesday at the YMCA. We'll see you down there, Ed. Courtney Washington, 2407. Now, remember I showed you Gabriel putting up Hall of Fame stats, right? Him and Tom Brady, the only two starting quarterbacks in their first 3 games to go 100 attempts with no interceptions and 2 touchdowns. Gabriel and Tom Brady. Well, Courtney Washington said, "Oh yeah, smart guy. How many yards?" So I did a little digging for everyone, and I come with pictures and information. As far as the yards, I got Brady at 618 in his first 3 games. And Dillon Gabriel, if my math is right, remember, I was a communications major because there were no math classes. I got him at 527. I've also seen like 546. I don't know why the number is different. But anyway, here you go. Look at these stats here. And look at how eerily similar they are, including Brady's game 3 where he threw 54 times. Do you see that? That was against the Chargers. So his first 3 games were the call. And I gave you Brady's next 2 because his 4th game, he did not throw a pick. But then look at game 5. Look at interceptions. The bottom fell out. He threw 4 in that game against Denver. But then look at Gabriel. Look at the attempts. 33, 52, and 18. Look at Brady, 23, 24, 54. About the same amount of attempts. Look at the completions. Brady has 25 and 53. So what is that, 78? And then our guy, the flying Hawaiian, look at that. 19, 29, and 13. So what is that, 42 and 19, which makes 61. So eerily similar, man. When you look at it, I'm just CBS Sports put out the thing, and I was like, all right, we need to look into this a little bit more. It could there be anything? Who knows? I mean, it's it is what it is. Like let's talk about it. It is eerily similar, and they're the only 2. Just say it. Stefanski's running around the building showing everybody that. Look. He's a Hall of Famer. I told you. Well, we'll see. We shall see. Sunday is going to be very telling. So we were going to learn a lot on Sunday about Dillon Gabriel. Let's move on. Tommy Hahn, who says, and this is what we teased at the top, Shedeur Sanders in the Wildcat sounds awesome near the goal line. And remember, Tommy Hahn, I have been calling for this literally since the season began. I'm like, I would use him as a wrinkle in the offense. You give him like 5 to 10 plays that that he can just master and lock down and be ready to go in situations, whether it's short yardage or inside the 10-yard line, where you got Judkins on the field as well with Fannin. and Njoku. I mean, think of all the things you could do. You could play action to Judkins. You give it to Judkins, which is option one and everything. I mean, but you got the option to throw. You got the option to roll. You got the option to roll and run. I love down when you, especially around like that 6-yard line, you do that play action. You roll the quarterback out. You run that tight end from the backside along with the receiver from the slot, and you got multiple levels. And you have DBs that have to decide, do I go up on the quarterback and try to make a tackle? Do I sit back? Because if he sits back, the quarterback's going to run. If he comes up, he's going to throw it over the top of you. You know, I love those kind of plays. You can do that stuff with Shedeur, man. I would love to see it. I'm with you, Tommy Hahn. I would love to see it. And we are going to end with Black Stacker, who says, LOL, why does Dave and Dillon have the same initials? LOL. I got to tell you, it's funny that he said that because for as long as I've been doing this, I would get nervous sometimes when I look at the viewer comments and it says DG blah, 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 blah. And I was like, holy, what did I do? I was like, it took me a minute to figure out. I'm like, oh, they mean Dillon Gabriel. I'm telling you, Black Stacker, like it was a thing for me. I was like, oh, I don't want to make anybody mad. What did I do? And no, you're just mad at Dillon Gabriel. So I was like, oh, okay, well, you can be mad at Gabriel. Don't be mad at me. But I thought that was funny, Black Stacker. Thank you for noticing. I appreciate it. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. We will continue to dig into these New England Patriots. The Patriots. It's like hard to come up. We got to come up with a funky name for them. We're going to punk the Patriots. That's what we're going to do come Sunday. But we get through this one and look out. Look out, because you got some cupcakes coming up. So we got to get through this one, though. But, those games, that Minnesota game, that Cincinnati game, That's why every single one counts. You can say, oh, it's a long season. But every single win matters, especially the ones you gave away. They really matter. They matter even more. All right, go Browns. We'll see you next time.